just us, or is everything so expensive these days? Well, luckily, in the age of YouTube, Snapchat, and just the internet in general, anything you want is just one Pinterest tutorial away. Do you want everyone to believe you make the best cupcakes? Watch this video to find out how to do this without even baking. Don't forget to like this video, and if you're new here, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Today, we will be taking you through 10 of the easiest and most oddly satisfying DIY projects that you can do at home. Pet face clock. Do you hate looking at your clock? Does it seem to only remind you that you are late or running out of time? Alarm clocks and clocks in general can be a great source of stress for some people. But this hack has come up with a way to take the anxiety out of time. How? By putting your pet's face on the clock. What could be more satisfying than your cute pug or adorable kitty telling you what time it is? Nothing, that's what. Here's what you do. Take a photo of your beloved pet. Print it and place it onto a foam board that is at least 1/8 of an inch thick. Next, use a knife to cut out the face to create a 6 to 8 inch wide circle. Take out the clock hands from your clock kit and paint them a fun color. Now it's time to put the clock together. Cut a tiny hole in the middle of the face and follow the mounting instructions in the clock kit. Cut out 4 small paper dots and place them onto your pet's face in the noon, 3, 6, and 9 positions. And that's it. Now the next time you are running late, you can look up at your cute pet's face and know that nothing is as bad as it seems. Gemstone soap. Bath time is one of the most important parts of the day. What could be better at the end of a long, stressful day than a nice warm bubble bath? A bubble bath with beautiful gemstones. Here's what you'll need. Stevenson crystal soap base, clear and opaque, food coloring, and silicone caulk. Make the base of your molds following the instructions in the Stevenson crystal soap base kit. Spread the batch that you create between some small jars to make small molds. Be sure the containers can handle high heat. After a few hours, your mold will be ready. Next, cut off the amount of soap you will need to fill the mold and cut it into smaller bits. Microwave them for 30 to 45 seconds, take them out and stir to make sure the soap is liquid. Now add color. Use food color droplets to mix and match the silicone molds to get the colors you want. Next, all you have to do is leave the soap to cool. It might be a little tricky the first few times you do it. If the soap doesn't set around the edges, then when you remove the soap, just wash it to get rid of the liquid soap residue. After 2 to 3 uses, you shouldn't have this problem anymore. Happy bath time! Glitter shoes. Would there still be no place like home if Dorothy hadn't had those glittery shoes? No, we think not. The only way to ensure that you always make your way home when you click those heels is to glitterize your shoes. And now, thanks to this tutorial, you can. Here's what you do. Find a pair of white shoes that you like. Next, take your favorite shade of glitter. Stuff the toe section of your shoes with something so that it stays sturdy and doesn't lose shape. Mix together the decoupage and glitter concoction that you have made. You can use as much glitter as you like. The more glitter you use, the more solid your coat will be. Move in small sections and work the decoupage over the entire shoe. Once your first coat is done, let the glitter dry for a few hours. It is very important that you don't rush this or you will accidentally brush off your first coat when you go in to apply the second. Repeat the same steps for the second coat. Once the glitter is as thick as you would like it, seal everything with a layer of decoupage and let it dry overnight. The next morning, you will wake up to beautiful glittery kicks. Guess who? Remember the childhood game Guess Who? Each player pulled a card with a face on it. The object of the game was to guess the person that was on your opponent's card. You did this by asking questions like, does your person have glasses? Do they have brown hair? Until you were able to narrow it down to one person. Well, if you want to add a personalized twist to the game, add in the faces of your family and friends. It's not as hard as you might think. Start out by picking the friends and family members that you would like to include. Cut out everyone's head and add their names to the bottom of their photos. Print out 3 copies of each photo, one for each player and one for the center pile. Paint the black of the birch pieces and attach the faces to the pegs using double stick tape. Measure all your pegs and line them up on the holes. Glue each hinge to the peg, then screw the hinges to the board. Cut your dowel down into 4 pieces. Glue 2 down to the front of the board to hold your card, and voila! A personalized game of Guess Who. This is the perfect gift for a close friend or family member. Light up the room. Decorating a room can make a big difference. The difference between a house and a home is just decor. But interior design can get expensive, especially if you like personalized items. So why not make your own? This is what you will need: cardboard letters and string globe lights. First, pick the word that you would like to make into your sign. Then cut out one side of each of the cardboard letters with an X-ACTO knife. In the string lighting package, the light bulb should be sitting in a cardboard tray. Use the hole in them to trace openings into the cardboard letters. Trace the circles where you want the light bulbs to go. Next, use an X-ACTO knife to cut across the center of each circle, making sure the cut goes from edge to edge. Turn over the cardboard letters and poke through to make the hole larger. Now you can put the light bulbs in each hole and screw on the backing, placing the wires in place inside the cardboard edges. These signs are the perfect way to add some flair to any room. From the living room to your bedroom, just pick a word that fits and get to creating. Kinetic foam sand. Coke is delicious. We all know this, but with all the Coke that people consume, it'd be great if you could use those empty Coke bottles for more than just recycling or trash. Well, we have found one of the most fun ways to reuse them. First, you will need a kinetic sand kit from Pom Pom Toys. Take a Coke bottle and remove the label. Next, use an X-ACTO knife to cut the bottle into 3 separate sections, one at the base of the bottle neck and one at the bottom of the body of the bottle. Next, put the cap back on the bottle. Scoop your first color of sand into the section that you're holding. Pat the sand down, flip the bottle over, remove the cap, and pack a little more sand in the top. Now, shake the bottle gently, letting the foam slide out of the bottle. It should retain the shape of the top of the Coke bottle. Next, take the label and place it around the foam and put the cap on top, making your foam look like the top of a Coke bottle. Repeat the process with the middle and bottom of the Coke bottle and voila! You've got a foam Coke bottle. DIY neon slime. If you were born in the 90s, then you probably remember the era of slime, and years after, it only got better. It doesn't have to be just any old boring slime, you can make it neon. All you need is liquid starch, school glue, and food coloring. First, mix 2 parts glue and 1 part starch. Next, pour the glue and starch mixture into a bowl. Then you can add the food coloring that you want. Stir it well. Make sure it's completely mixed. Once it starts to gel, you can mix it with your hands. This is a little easier than with a spoon. If your slime turns out too liquidy, you can add more glue. On the other hand, if your slime is too sticky, add starch in the same manner. Continue mixing until the consistency is just right for you. Storing the slime may be harder than actually creating it. Because slime dries so fast, you need to be a little particular about where you keep it. Ziploc bags and Tupperware work great if you make sure to keep them tightly sealed. You can finally enjoy the slime you wish you had in the 90s. Glow-in-the-dark slime. Now that you know how to make neon slime, let's take it one step further. Think of all those nights where you take the kids or your little siblings out camping. What could make the experience funner than some glow-in-the-dark slime to add to your campfire tales? So here's what you will need: 2 bottles of Elmer's white glue bottles, glow-in-the-dark paint, water, neon food coloring, borax, and warm water. Simple enough? First, pour the glue out and into your bowl. Fill the bottles of glue with warm water, close them, and shake to remove any excess glue inside the bottles. Now, pour the watery glue into the bowl and mix it up with a spoon. This is when it gets fun. Now you will want to add the food coloring to your glue. Neon colors are always a great choice. Next, pour in some glow-in-the-dark paint and stir. In another little bowl, mix half a cup of warm water with 1 teaspoon of borax. The water should help dissolve some of the borax before you add in the glue mixture. Once it's dissolved, mix the borax with the glue mixture that you created with a spoon. Once it starts to mix, you can use your hands to continue mixing. Keep mixing until the slime is just the consistency you want. Rain clouds. Remember in school when you were forced to participate in science fairs? The age-old volcano experiments were a dime a dozen. But we have found a new take on experiments that you don't need a lab to conquer. It's called a rain cloud, and here's how you can make it. You will need a glass, water, a dropper, shaving cream, and, as always, food coloring. First, pour water into the glass, making sure to leave about an inch of the glass empty at the top. Slowly add a layer of shaving cream to the water. Make sure you don't add too much because the more you add, the slower this process will go. Right now, the shaving cream should resemble clouds. Next, it's time for the food coloring. Add a few drops of the food coloring to the top of the shaving cream. The weight of the food coloring will cause the shaving cream to allow it through and result in the colorful rainstorm. This project is usually used to teach small children about the weather. It is best done outside so the child can compare the self-made project to the actual sky. Funfetti candles. Don't you just love walking into someone's house when they've been baking? The house is full of warm, delicious scents of sugar, chocolate, and other wonderful treats. But what if you're not the most proficient baker? Are you doomed to have a home that only smells stale? Not with this DIY project. Trick everyone with this delicious-smelling Funfetti candle. All you will need is mason jars, pre-waxed wicks, a hot glue gun, corn syrup, rainbow sprinkles, soy wax flakes, and cupcake-scented wax cubes. First, hot glue a wick attachment to the bottom of each of your jars. Then, mix 2 tablespoons of corn syrup with water in a bowl. Coat the inside of one of the jars with the mixture using a paintbrush. Pour some of the sprinkles into the jars and roll them around so that they will stick to the side. Add spoonfuls of sprinkles until the entire jars are covered. Lay a pencil across the top of each of the jars and tape the wicks to them. Use a double boiler to melt the wax flakes and 3 of the scented cubes. Next, pour the melted wax into the jars. Finally, put the jars into the freezer and let them sit for 3 to 4 hours and you've got deliciously scented candles. That's it for 10 oddly satisfying DIY projects. What did you think? Are you going to try to make some of these at home? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time!